So I had previously recorded How They Got Me Fucked Up episode 5, but I really didn't like it. So now I'm re-recording it, but this is going to be part 1. Long story short, the title is Why I Hate the Democrats, and I definitely don't fuck with the left. So, long story short, because I am in part black, but I identify as black because when you see me, you see black. And yeah, like my grandmother on my mom's side is French Canadian, and yeah, even my black grandmother, she was Black Cherokee. And even my grandfather, he was part white, but he was from Canada. Like he immigrated here from Canada right after the Great Depression, became a citizen, fought in the military, got stationed in Okinawa, Japan, met my grandmother, and then they had my mom. And even he was part white, French Canadian, and Native American. But because I'm black, like I'm automatically supposed to side with the Democrats. And ultimately, like, that's not true. So I hate corporatism and I hate the oligarchy. I hate the establishment. But more importantly, I hate the Democrats because you technically claim to support us. You technically claim to have our best interest or people of color's best interest at heart, and that's not what you have. Ultimately, the only thing you care about is keeping your power structure in Washington and around the country. This is, in essence, just gangbanging to y'all. Like, this is some blood versus Crip type shit. This is, the mafia family against another mafia family. And you claim to have our best interest, but explain to me how. Because I can explain how you don't. So, there's Joe Biden, the author of modern day systemic racism. Because of Joe Biden, in his time, and it's not solely just him, but there's other people in Washington that made irrational decisions. But because of Joe Biden, there are more black people in prison, which is modern day slavery, than there were black people on a plantation before the Civil War. And this is the same guy who quotes unquotes says that he's going to come down here and end racism. So you're going to come down here to the South and end racism, sexism, xenophobia. I've lived in the South my whole entire life. You're not ending that shit. 2, what you need to be ending is the war on drugs. What you need to be ending is these corporate bailouts. What you need to be ending is this oligarchy and this corporatocracy that we live in. That's what you need to be ending. But no, he's just a Wall Street lackey, just like Barack Obama. And Barack Obama, we're supposed to praise him for what? What did he do? Like, he inspired zero hope. He inspired zero change. Business is still as usual. And if anything, he's created more disdain and more problems. And it correlates to what Michelle Alexander said in her book, The New Jim Crow. He's made it worse because now we're supposed to aspire to be him, which is nothing. Just somebody who's bought and paid by Wall Street, by Citigroup. Half of his cabinet is Citigroup. Half the judges that he elected is Citigroup. Or, they're part of the corporate plantation. They're coons just like him. And, I mean, I'm trying to understand what did he do? Besides leaving the water for Flint and what he did at the North Dakota pipeline. And we're supposed to be okay with these people. Same thing with Clinton. Like, this man right here has probably touched more little girls and done more foul things to young women than any other president. And yet this is the same man we're supposed to praise. This is the same man who speaks at women's events for women's equal rights. Like, this is asinine. And then his wife, she has the audacity to sit here and call people super predators, and then sit here and say that she's got hot sauce in her bag swag, and that she's owed our vote. Joe Biden legitly has the audacity to sit here and tell Charlamagne, like, if we don't vote for him, we ain't black. Like, that is the epitome of racism. And I'm not one to really care about the N-word. Like, I'm not. I grew up saying it my whole entire life. But when your father is the author of systemic racism, what the fuck are you doing saying nigga? You're not Eminem. You're not Tommy from Power. What the fuck are you saying it for? You're a fucking crackhead. You run around here in your fucking whitey tighties, and you get your laptop stolen every 5 minutes by a whole bunch of Russians. So what the fuck? And you got dishonorably discharged or discharged some fictitious way, some, foul way from the military, and we're supposed to give you respect. We're supposed to give your dad respect. This fucking motherfucker. Then, because I'm black and because I'm also part Asian, I'm supposed to just be cool with fucking Kamala Harris? Are you serious? This woman was a prosecutor, not just any kind of prosecutor. I mean, people, the topic of prisons and laws and penalties and stuff is another debate for another time. But the fact is, like, she legitly kept innocent people locked up. She legitly kept people in prison longer than their sentence, just for profit, just for money. This is the same woman who openly tried to play like she's this big pot smoker because she's Jamaican and her own father called her out on it. This is the same woman who can't keep her story straight. Either she's for Medicare for all or she is for, Obamacare. She doesn't even know. This is the same woman who claimed to handle the border and has never even been to the border, or when she says she was and did and didn't. And we're supposed to praise, and not including that, but we're supposed to praise her and Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the reason why we're even in Afghanistan. And now we're supposed to praise him because he's letting troops come home. And I'm not saying here like troops should come home. This is a 20-year war. The only thing we're out there doing is getting poppy, heroin, and motherfucking oil. Like, we have no business being out there. We've been out there 20 years. You have fathers and sons literally fighting the same war. And if we keep going on, we're going to have grandkids fighting the same war as their grandparents. This is asinine. It's 20 years of Vietnam 2.0. Like a never-ending war. Just throw money at it. Have the military-industrial complex. Have these people sit here and make up excuses. Now we got to sit here and help them fight for their gender. Like, I'm pretty sure that those in the Middle East, those who are diehard Muslims, who take Islam to the fullest extent, they know more about their gender identity than us as Americans, us as people who's easily influenced by Hollywood, who's easily influenced by left thinking. And explain to me, how are these people great? Same thing with FDR. Okay, yeah, FDR was not a better Roosevelt than Theodore. How is that? That's beyond me. Yeah, Theodore may not have, he may have done a few questionable things, said a few questionable things, but he lived over 120 years ago. But FDR who was a Democrat, knew that racism was wrong, that his policies that he ushered in during his reign was unconstitutional. He knew that the Republican Party, after the Civil War, passed the Civil Rights Act of 1866, the Ku Klux Klan Act 1 and 2 and 3. He knew that the policies of the Reconstruction period. He knew about the 14th and 15th Amendment and the 13th Amendment, especially the 14th Amendment applied with the 1966 Civil Rights Bill. And this is, 1866 Civil Rights Bill. And this is the same dude who literally allowed redlining. And he's praised. The reason why a large majority of middle-class white wealth is at an extraordinarily higher difference than black wealth is because of FDR, because he allowed your grandparents and great grandparents to be able to buy property for a low price, pretty much almost on the government's back after World War II, and literally be able to accumulate and build wealth. My grandfather was blessed by what, I don't even know if it's the word to say blessed, but he was allowed because him being part white, he was able to build wealth, and also because of his military check. He served in World War II. He served in Korea. Did some I think he did some time in Nam, stuff like that, and so he was actually able to build houses and build wealth. Not build a house, but he did extend his house, but he was able to purchase a house and build wealth. Black counterparts can't say the same thing under FDR, but we're supposed to praise the Democrats. And then later on, we're supposed to praise Lyndon B. Johnson, the same person that said, let's pass the 1964 Civil Rights Act just so that we can have the Negroes vote for us for generation to generation. This is the same Democratic Party that, after the Civil War, founded the Ku Klux Klan and went around terrorizing and hanging people and burning down cities and Rosewood and Black Wall Street. And we're supposed to praise them? It's beyond me how we sit here and allow the Democrats to say and do whatever and get away with murder, but we're supposed to willy-nilly and vote for them every single time. And now they're sitting there trying to pass HB1, these voting bills. And of course, like, the 15th Amendment grants equal opportunity to vote for everyone. But you're so gung-ho about the voting bill, but who are we supposed to vote for? Joe Biden? Kamala Harris? Hillary Clinton? I mean, I'm not a fan of Barack Obama by any means, but how the fuck do you go from this man to these motherfuckers? Like, that's just an insult to our intelligence. And then, okay, AOC. I thought you were supposed to get in there and you were supposed to be the Tea Party of the left. You're legitimately calling Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear. This same Nancy Pelosi, who is a corporate sellout, whose husband is supposed to be this great stock trader. No, he's not a great stock trader. It's just insider trading. Oh, let's go buy some Tesla. Oh, I'm sure he got rich. While she sits there and, eats out of, $20, $30 ice cream pints, and with her $12,000 refrigerators. I mean, this is crazy. And we're supposed to just, yeah, cool. The same AOC that rolled over on the $15 minimum wage with Kristen Sinema, and don't get it twisted. Kristen Sinema is fine. She's a MILF. But I ain't got no praises for her. And, she called me and was like, hey, and I'll be like, hey, what's up, girl? You know what I'm saying? Hey. But the reality is she's a corporate sellout. And this is the same woman who was supposed to be part of the Green Party. She was supposed to be the AOC when she got elected, and now she is the Joe Manchin of the world, the Mitch McConnells of the world. And it's weird, because this is the same Democratic Party that told me to hate Ice Cube, when all he said was, we need something for our votes. This is the same Democratic Party that promised us to end the war on drug and mass incarceration. What have they done all year? George Floyd bill, they don't give a fuck about that shit. But they'll kente cloth and kunta kinte us to death. Oh, I hate how he cried out for his mom. Yeah, that was very sad, but you think Nancy Pelosi gives a fuck? You think that's what's keeping her up at night? No. What's keeping her up at night is those corporate dollars. Her stock's going up. Her options are going up. we sit here and we allow these people to dictate how we think, to instill in us beliefs that we never really had. If you look at the Black community, we normally have always lined up with many conservative values, that of family, that of having a network, connected with people, husbands, wives. We've always been people for that has fairly lean conservative. I mean, when you talk about Jesus, big thing in our community. When you start talking about the Bible, big in our community. But no, we sit here and now we allow the Democratic Party, we allow left thinking and ideology to sit here and say, fuck them families. We don't need a husband and wife. We don't need a family union. We don't need two incomes. What's the first thing that comes out of our mouth? Oh, I don't need no man. I don't come out my mouth. But okay. Then they play on our emotions, and we can't even see straight. It's beyond me. And the Democrats, they're the same ones who legitly sold us out when it comes to student loans, when it comes to the housing crash of 2000, the Great Recession, the housing crash of 2008. They're the main ones who fixed the laws under Clinton and got rid of the Glass-Steagall Act so that we can get fucked by subprime mortgages. We're supposed to praise them. They tell us, like, let's go to college so that you as a Black man can make money. Whole time, it's better to have a skill because that's really what makes money. Plumbing, electrical, carpentry. But no, you gotta go get your ass in some debt. Just so you can be accepted. It's beyond me. When are we gonna wake up? When are we gonna see that these Democrats really fucking hate us and they only use us for the fucking votes? When are we gonna start demanding more? Or when are we gonna start leaving their fucking party and us starting to work together with the working class and understand that we are all in a struggle? That these politicians, especially if they're Democrat, they don't give a fuck about us. They're dropping bombs in the Middle East right now. BLM on them bombs, on them tomahawks. Rainbow flags on them tomahawks. Go get we're blowing up kids right now for no fucking reason. And we have the left media, CNN, and all these motherfuckers to tell us how to think, what to believe. We allow Chris Cuomo and Rachel Maddow to tell us how to think. So we're supposed to think like them? We're supposed to believe what they believe? It's crazy. It's beyond me. And so we have to be very, very careful, because the left is on a sinking ship. It's like the Titanic. And as long as you stay on that boat, you're gonna drown. And it's just gotta end. We gotta wake the fuck up. Fuck these Democrats. Fuck Nancy Pelosi. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Barack Obama. Fuck both the Clintons. Get you blocked off, get murdered, Jeffrey Epstein Clintons. Fuck them. Fuck Chuck Schumer. Fuck all these motherfuckers. They don't give a fuck about you. They only give a fuck about keeping power, winning their gang war, and doing their mafioso shit. And like, share, subscribe, whether you agree, disagree. comment below. Appreciate it. I'm out.